The war against memes continues. It's March 12th, 2025, and these are your headlines. Well, Dade Phelan, the former Speaker of the Texas House, isn't backing down from his controversial push to regulate political memes and altered images. As House Bill 366, which would require disclosure or else you could face up to a year in jail, received a hearing in the State Affairs Committee today. During the hearing, Representative Phelan insisted that the bill was about addressing artificial intelligence, AI, in political advertising. But as critics have pointed out, the legislation itself doesn't distinguish between AI-generated content and simple Photoshop edits, meaning it could criminalize even rudimentary image manipulation in political speech. The bill, which would require disclaimers on political content featuring altered media, comes in response to a campaign mailer from Club for Growth during the most recent election cycle that depicted Phelan alongside Nancy Pelosi. It's intended to highlight that Phelan received major campaign contributions from a PAC that also backs Pelosi and other Democrats. Well, Phelan attempted to downplay concerns about the bill's reach, claiming it wouldn't apply to social media. He also framed the bill as narrowly focused on political advertising. James Tinley from the Texas Ethics Commission, however, suggested otherwise. He said that political advertising is a communication that supports or opposes a candidate. One of those ways is if it appears on an internet website. Well, that exchange itself revealed a gap between Phelan's claims and how the Texas Ethics Commission views the bill's enforcement. In fact, the TEC just last year already passed new rules allowing it to regulate social media posts of citizens in certain circumstances. Phelan stood firm on his view of the legislation's necessity, at one point suggesting that its penalties should be even stricter. He said, "I don't know if a Class A misdemeanor is enough, and that the folks who are willing to do this don't care about a $500 slap on the wrist." Again, it's not just $500. You could actually spend up to a year in jail under a Class A misdemeanor. But some at the hearing that were testifying in favor of the bill said they wanted to see it become a felony. The bill was left pending in the committee. It could come up for a vote in a future hearing. 22 hours. That's how long the Texas House Public Education Committee held its hearing yesterday and today on its school choice proposal, House Bill 3. They went from 8 a.m. on Tuesday until just after 6 a.m. this morning. Now, filed by Representative Brad Buckley, House Bill 3, the school choice proposal, would create an education savings account program giving parents access to around $10,000 per child for private school tuition, homeschooling expenses, or other educational costs. The program would be funded with $1 billion in the current budget proposal, allowing an estimated 10,000 students to participate in year one. The proposal is a key priority for Governor Greg Abbott, who made school choice a central issue in last year's Republican primaries. He backed challengers against incumbents who opposed similar efforts. The Texas Senate's already passed its version of school choice, increasing pressure on the House to act. However, the issue has, of course, faced long resistance in the lower chamber, particularly from Democrats and a minority of Republicans. This session, however, a majority of members have signed on as co-authors to the bill, a first for school choice. Now, while Buckley has indicated the committee will not immediately vote on HB 3, he has suggested that lawmakers will take action on the bill in the coming weeks as negotiations continue.
What are the important things out there in Texas politics and Texas news that matter to you, and what can you do about it? That's what we want to bring you with the Luke Macias Show on a weekly basis for 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can get the information and go do something for the rest of your week. I look forward to coming to you every Wednesday.
Representative Michael Cloud from Texas introduced the Protecting the Right to Keep and Bear Arms Act in Congress to prevent the federal government from using national emergencies as a pretext for unconstitutional gun control measures. H.R. 2039 is a response to a previous Biden administration Surgeon General's declaration advisory that declared firearm violence a public health crisis. Now, according to Cloud's office, the 2024 advisory violated the Second Amendment and was a thinly veiled attempt to justify radical gun control measures, including public carry bans, firearm confiscation, so-called assault weapon bans, magazine capacity limits, strict storage mandates, and, yes, a national gun registry. Well, in February of this year, President Donald Trump issued an executive order preventing the federal government from infringing on Americans' Second Amendment right to bear arms. Cloud's Protecting the Right to Keep and Bear Arms Act aims to support President Trump's measure by blocking government overreach and ensuring that no administration, specifically the Secretary of Health and Human Services, can use the excuse of a declaration of an emergency to impose unconstitutional gun restrictions on law-abiding gun owners. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.